Hey guys, tonight we crack open the secret journal of fast fluency, the kind of English mastery people think takes years, but you're about to chase it down in 30 days flat. Picture this: you roll out of bed, rub your eyes, stumble into the kitchen, a broken bar, and without even realizing it, you're already training your brain in English. Not with textbooks, not with teachers, but with a few sneaky habits that melt into your morning routine like butter on toast. It all starts before the coffee even hits. You open your eyes and instead of groaning about the day ahead, your brain quietly narrates in English. The blanket is warm. The floor is cold. I need socks. Or slippers. Or both. It's nothing fancy, just raw, clumsy, sleepy sentences. But that, right there, is you rewiring your neural pathways. Every word you say in English, even half-conscious, strengthens the fluency muscle. Think of it like brushing your teeth. No drama, just daily maintenance. You're not alone in this. During WEI, allied codebreakers used early morning mental drills to prime their minds for ultra-complex language puzzles. Historians still argue whether their biggest breakthroughs came from caffeine or those early mental sprints. Either way, the pattern holds. Start your day thinking in the language you want to master, and the rest begins to fall in place. Then comes your mirror. There you are, toothbrush in one hand, judgmental reflection staring back. You smile awkwardly and say out loud, "Good morning." You'll a broken bar surprisingly alive. This is the beginning of your daily mirror talk, a trick actors and language learners alike have used for decades. It's not vanity, it's rehearsal. You're warming up your mouth for the sounds it'll shape all day long. French language enthusiasts believe this habit triggers vocal muscle memory faster than any formal lesson, and while the science isn't all in yet, enough anecdotal evidence keeps this ritual alive and kicking. Here's a twist to supercharge it. Every morning, pick one emotion: anger, joy, confusion, and act out 3 English sentences using that tone. I can't find my keys. Where is my tea? This shirt is itchy. You'll sound ridiculous. Perfect? That's the point. Embodying tone helps your fluency catch up with native style nuance, which textbooks almost never teach. Now, let's talk about affirmation stacking. Nope, not woo-woo positivity fluff, but a mental hack used by Olympic athletes, spies, and yes, even talk show hosts. As you pour your coffee or tea, repeat one English phrase you want to master over and over. Maybe it's, "I'm getting better every day," or "Today I speak with confidence." Say it again, then again. Why? Because repetition in a low-stress moment, like sipping tea, helps bake that phrase into your subconscious. Brain scans show that repeated affirmations during autopilot moments light up learning zones more than intense study sessions. No joke. And while we're still in your morning zone, let's toss in a tip from a medieval monk. Historical records show monks at Lindisfarne Abbey learned Latin by whispering scriptures while walking the cloister halls at sunrise. They believed the rhythm of walking unlocked mental clarity. Weird? Yes. But you, my friend, have the same opportunity. As you walk to the bus, stretch, or do a sleepy dance, whisper English. Even just, "I am walking, I am breathing, I need coffee." Motion plus language equals sticky memory. Science has finally caught up to what monks already knew. Of course, not every morning will go as planned. One day, your toast burns. Another, you oversleep. But here's the rule: never let a silent morning win. Even if you only whisper 5 English words, that counts. That's victory. And here's your cheeky reality check. If your first thoughts in the morning are still in your native language by day 10, you probably won't survive this fluency challenge. You'll limp along, translation lag slowing you down, sabotaging your flow. But if you commit to even just with groggy whispers and mirror mutterings, you'll start noticing English creeping in, uninvited, during your dreams. That's when you know it's working. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And I'd love to know, where are you tuning in from, and what time is it there right now? Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You've woken up your words. And now, as your day unfolds, You're about to speak English like a ghost, barely noticed, always present, quietly building fluency. Now that you've jump-started your brain with that sleepy morning routine, let's sneak into your next power move, the 5-minute shadow game. If you've never heard of shadowing, don't worry, you're about to become dangerously good at it. Imagine tailing someone's voice like a spy in a foreign movie, copying every word, pause, and inflection they make in real time. That's shadowing. It's weird, it's intense, and it works like magic. You grab your headphones, maybe it's a YouTube video, maybe it's a podcast, maybe it's a random motivational speech with dramatic music playing behind it. Doesn't matter. What matters is you repeat every word immediately after the speaker, barely a heartbeat behind. You're not pausing to understand or translate. You're chasing the sound, you're mimicking the rhythm, and you're letting go of perfection. That's the secret. People spend years trying to speak like a native, but here's the kicker. Your brain is a parrot with a PhD. If you feed it sounds, it will learn them. The hardest part? Silencing the perfectionist in your head, the one that says, wait, what does resilient mean? Shush it. You're not studying, you're performing, and every performance makes your fluency faster. Want to know who else used shadowing to master languages fast? CIA field agents. No joke. During Cold War training, recruits had to shadow Russian broadcasts in real time, not to understand them yet, but to build a feel for the language. Historians still argue whether this method or immersion produced better spies, but either way, it carved fluency faster than grammar drills ever could. So, what should you shadow? Start small. Cartoons, TED Talks, movie trailers, anything under 5 minutes. The shorter, the better. Choose speakers with clear articulation. David Attenborough is your new voice coach, or Emma Watson, or Morgan Freeman. Actually, just pretend you're Morgan Freeman's echo. That works. Here's the twist. Record yourself. Yep, cringe and all. Use your phone, hit record, and shadow a 60-second clip. Then, play it back. You will squirm, you will laugh, you might cry, but you will hear yourself getting better. Week by week, those mumbled syllables start aligning. You'll catch yourself nailing a sentence with native rhythm and think, wait, was that me? Pro tip: pick one 5-minute video and shadow it every day for 5 days. Same video, over and over. By day 5, you'll know every pause, every joke, every sigh, and your mouth will follow the English like muscle memory. Oh, and don't forget your shadowing stance. This isn't passive. You're not slouched on a couch mumbling. You're upright, shoulders relaxed, pretending you're in front of a live audience, because body language boosts vocal control. Fringe voice coaches believe posture shapes confidence before words even leave your lips. They might be right. Now cue the joke of the day. If someone walks in on you while you're shadowing and speaking along with a cartoon squirrel, don't panic. Just look them dead in the eye and say, "I'm becoming fluent. What's your excuse?" Then go back to business. This method isn't for the faint of heart. It's for those who want to accelerate beyond what textbooks can offer. You're training your mouth to move faster than your brain. And yes, that's uncomfortable, but it's the discomfort that creates fluency. Think about toddlers. They don't wait for the perfect word, they copy sounds, mess up, repeat. You're doing the same, just with better Wi-Fi and less drool. And like those toddlers, you'll wake up one day, open your mouth, and English will pour out before your brain even catches up. That's not magic, that's shadowing. Want to level it up? Shadow in public. Yep. Mumble along quietly on your commute. Whisper in a grocery line. Just make sure you're wearing earbuds so strangers assume you're on a call and not summoning spirits. The bold ones practice out loud on park benches. Urban legends say these people reach fluency twice as fast. Maybe. And finally, here's your not-so-gentle reminder. If you're just listening passively, your brain is on vacation. But if you're speaking while listening is shadowing, you've put it to work. And 5 minutes a day is all it takes. You've gone from mumbling into your mirror to tailing native speakers like a language ninja. The next step, you'll learn how to make English words stick like gum on your shoe. A broken bar and love it. Now that you're echoing English like a shadowy language spy, it's time to talk about the words themselves, because what good is smooth pronunciation if your mind draws a blank mid-sentence? In this section, you're going to discover how to make vocabulary stick and not just float around your memory like balloons at a boring party. We're talking glue, gorilla glue. Here's the truth. Most people learn vocabulary backwards. They stare at long lists, whisper the word benevolent 15 times, and then forget it the second a waiter asks how their food is. Why? Because your brain doesn't store words like a filing cabinet, it stores them like stories. Let's prove it. Which is easier to remember? A. Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants a broken bar, or B. Imagine a plant sunbathing and sipping water through its feet. Exactly. So here's your first trick. Turn every new word into a scene. Take drenched, for example. Don't just memorize it. Picture yourself standing in a rainstorm with your socks squishing in your shoes. That squishy feeling? That's drenched. You didn't just learn a word, you lived it. You can even make it ridiculous. The more absurd, the stickier it gets. Want to remember meticulous? Picture a hamster wearing glasses, gently polishing each sunflower seed with a toothbrush. That image, locked in. You'll never forget that hamster, ever. Fringe memory experts even say that the brain's emotional response to nonsense makes vocabulary more memorable than logic ever could. And although some scholars roll their eyes, others agree. Historians still argue whether medieval students used dirty jokes to remember Latin declensions. True story. Learning through laughter isn't new, it's ancient. Now let's step it up. Once you've made your silly or vivid image, tie it to something personal. Clumsy isn't just a word, it's the time you dropped your phone in the soup. Serene, that's your dog sleeping upside down with one ear flopped like a croissant. These personal anchors root the word deeper. But what about lists? You can keep them, but rewrite them in your own words. Instead of apathetic, energetic, hostile, try apathetic equals like a zombie during Monday meetings. Energetic equals coffee level 9000. Hostile equals my neighbor when I park in his spot. Boom. Context, humor, retention. Let's throw in one more historical gem. In ancient China, scholars memorized thousands of characters, and not by repetition, but by linking characters into poems and visual metaphors. Even Confucius himself was said to teach by painting mental pictures rather than cold recitation. So if you've ever doubted that fun and fluency go together, you're basically arguing with Confucius. Good luck with that. And now comes your daily habit challenge, the 3-word story game. Every evening, grab 3 new words and make the weirdest mini story possible, like glimpse, biscuit, and jealous. Here goes. I caught a glimpse of my dog stealing my biscuit, and I've never been more jealous of an animal in my life. Short, stupid, unforgettable. Then, say it out loud. Tell it to your plant, or your lamp, or the hamster from earlier. Oh, he's still polishing sunflower seeds. This verbal storytelling locks vocabulary into your speaking memory, not just your reading brain. Feeling brave? Post your 3-word story in a language forum, or share it in the comments of this video. The sillier, the better. You'll not only remember the words, you'll enjoy using them. Now let's deal with the elephant in the room, forgetting. Yes, you will forget words. Often, you'll see benevolent one day and malevolent the next and think they both mean nice. That's normal. But when you recall a word just before forgetting it, it sticks even harder. Psychologists call this the desirable difficulty principle. Your brain loves a fight, it remembers what it works for. So embrace the fog, laugh at the blanks, and keep telling those wild stories. You've gone from echoing English like a secret agent to gluing words into your brain like a chaotic artist with a paintbrush full of metaphors. Next up, we talk to chairs. Yep, it's time to speak out loud, even if no one's listening. So, you're collecting English words like rare, paquet, tilde, copyright, Mona, quirky, powerful, and possibly slightly confusing. But now comes the real trick, using them out loud, even when you're totally alone. And no, this isn't about pretending you have friends in the furniture. It's about unlocking the most underrated, weirdly effective fluency method out there. talking to everything around you. That's right, your toaster is your new conversation partner, your shampoo bottle is your audience, your wardrobe, a silent judge. Welcome to the world of solo speaking practice. Yeah, the method so awkward it actually works. Here's how it goes. As you go through your day, narrate your actions out loud in English. You wake up, I am reaching for my blanket. I am stretching like a confused cat. I am wondering why I didn't sleep earlier. Making breakfast. I am opening the fridge. I see milk, the milk is judging me. I do not care. You get the idea. This isn't about being poetic, it's about forming full, real-time English sentences with zero pressure. There's no audience, no grammar police, just you, your thoughts, and an increasingly fluent brain. Historical fact time. Did you know early radio broadcasters trained by narrating their day as if they were on air 24/7? They'd describe brushing their teeth like it was breaking news. The toothbrush enters the mouth. Oh, it's a bold stroke on the molars. Their logic? If they could speak fluently about anything, they could speak about everything. And guess what? It worked. Now, the fringe crowd, some language learners take it to the next level. They give personalities to objects and hold full dialogues. One guy on Reddit had a year-long feud with his microwave, using only English. You betrayed me again, didn't you? You knew the popcorn would burn. You just stood there blinking. Crazy? Yes. Effective? Also yes. Here's why it works. Language is physical. Speaking involves muscles, tongue, jaw, breath. The more you speak, the stronger those muscles become. Reading silently doesn't train your mouth. Listening doesn't either. Only talking does. And when no one's around, you're free to mess up gloriously. But maybe you're thinking, won't this make me sound a broken bar, unhinged? Possibly. But only to people who don't speak 3 languages. Multilingual folks know the drill. Whispering to a cereal box in French? Totally normal. Pretending your socks need motivational speeches in English? Absolutely. So, here's your daily challenge. 5 minutes of out loud narration, minimum. Describe what you see, what you feel, what you plan to do. Example: I am walking to the bus stop. I see a squirrel. He looks suspicious. I do not trust him. My left shoe feels weird. I may have a rock inside it. Life is pain. See? That's fluency. Imperfect, quirky, but alive. You can take this further with role-play scenarios. Pretend you're ordering coffee at a Paris cafe. Copyright. Pretend you're a detective solving the case of the missing sock. Pretend you're giving a TED talk on how to make the perfect grilled cheese. Use vocabulary from yesterday's 3-word story game. Embody the voice. Play the character. Need structure? Try this format. Observation A: there is a bird outside my window. Reaction A: he is staring at me. I am uncomfortable. Decision A: I will close the curtain. I do not trust birds. These 3 steps form a complete thought. Do 10 of these every day, and you're training for a real conversation, minus the awkward silence. Now, let's go full old school. Remember how ancient Greek philosophers practiced their rhetoric? They walked and talked alone, rehearsing speeches to trees and temples. Aristotle himself may have invented the walking meeting just to talk uninterrupted. Historians still argue whether his dog was fluent too. So, don't underestimate solitude. Your room can be a stage, your hallway, a theater. Fluency isn't just about what you know, it's about how comfortably you can use it. And before we leave this chapter, here's your cheeky reality check. If you're only speaking English during lessons or apps, you're not training, you're testing. Tests don't build muscle, practice does. So narrate your world. Talk to your furniture. Make peace with your microwave. Because speaking when no one listens is the fastest path to fluency. When someone finally does, you've gone from absorbing words to owning your voice. From passive student to active narrator. Up next, we throw grammar out the window, or rather, we sneak it in without you noticing. You've been speaking to your chairs, your cat, maybe even a suspicious-looking lamppost, and guess what? You're already doing grammar without realizing it. Now let's dive into the most radical idea in this journey: learning grammar like a toddler. Yep, forget charts, forget past participles, forget that moment in high school when a teacher said gerund and your soul briefly left your body. This isn't that. This is grammar by instinct. Not by rules. Let's start with this. Toddlers don't study grammar books. They hear "I want juice," "Doggy is sleeping," "no touch" about a million times. Eventually, their little brains piece together patterns, and boom, a grammar happens. No lectures, no quizzes, just exposure and repetition. You can do the same. The trick? Noticing patterns without trying to name them. Listen to enough real English TV shows, podcasts, daily conversations, and you'll start feeling what sounds right. You'll say, "That sounds weird," even if you can't explain why. That gut feeling? That's grammar in action. Take this pair. "I go to the store yesterday." "I went to the store yesterday." You probably know the second is right. But do you need to recite the past tense of go to fix it? Nope. You've heard it 100 times. That's the game. Exposure breeds correctness. Here's a secret. Many polyglots are people who speak 5, 10, even 20 languages don't bother with grammar study early on. They dive into content, repeat phrases, and let the brain catch on. Fringe learners have even tried full grammar fasts, vowing not to study any rules for 3 months, and surprisingly, they improved faster. Historians still argue whether this approach mimics natural acquisition or just pure stubbornness, but hey, it works. So what should you do? Start collecting grammar chunks. These are ready-made sentence pieces you can plug into conversation, like, "Can I get a broken bar? I'm not sure I've broken bar. Do you want me to a broken bar?" Instead of learning verb tenses in isolation, you're learning them in action. Every time you use a chunk, you reinforce grammar without dissecting it. And let's be honest, learning grammar in isolation is like trying to fix a car by only reading about engines. You need to drive the car, hear the hum, feel the gears click. That's real learning. Try this. Pick a favorite TV show. Watch one scene just a few minutes. Listen for how sentences are structured, not just the words. Pause and repeat a phrase, then speak it again, changing one piece. Original: "I don't think that's a good idea." "I don't think that's necessary." Then, "I don't think he understands." Boom. One pattern. 3 sentences. Grammar, sneaky style. Want to level it up? Write down 5 chunks a day from things you watch. Then, use each in your daily out loud narrations. You're stacking grammar on top of speaking, all without opening a textbook. Now, you might ask, but what if I use the wrong tense? Good. Use it wrong, then use it again, then hear it done right, then fix it. That's desirable difficulty. Again, the idea that struggling actually cements learning better than perfection. Your mistakes are gold. Here's a fun grammar moment in history. In Shakespeare's time, English spelling and grammar weren't standardized. Even Shakespeare spelled his name 6 different ways. 6. Shakespeare. 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 Historians still argue whether he cared at all. So if the greatest English writer of all time could wing it, you definitely can too. Your daily challenge? Pick one grammar chunk and use it 5 different ways. Example: "I wish I had a broken bar." "I wish I had more time." "I wish I had coffee." "I wish I had said yes." "I wish I had studied earlier." "I wish I had a bigger brain." You'll start noticing tenses, word order, rhythm without the headache. Here's your cheeky reality check. If you spend more time memorizing irregular verbs than actually using them, you're building a library and never reading a book. Flip that. Speak first, fix later. You've gone from awkward grammar guesses to fluid, natural structure, all by doing what babies do best: listen, copy, and play. Next up, we turn your Netflix addiction into a language lobby. No guilt required. Alright, grammar ninja, you've survived talking to objects and absorbing sentence patterns like a toddler on espresso. Now it's time to confess. You've probably been watching Netflix, YouTube, or some shady reality TV show that makes you question humanity. Good, because now we turn that delicious screen time into a fluency accelerator. Welcome to the Netflix Fluency Hacker, where binge watching becomes brain training, and your guilty pleasures become proud language victories. Here's the first rule: never watch in silence again. Every time you hit play, you're not just watching, you're studying. But not like a student, like a spy who wants to steal the way native speakers talk, joke, pause, mumble, yell, and whisper. Let's break it down. Step 1. Choose the right content. Forget the overly dramatic medieval shows unless you're aiming to speak like a 14th century knight. Start with modern dialogue, sitcoms, rom-coms, slice-of-life dramas, even cooking shows. Think Friends, The Office, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, or MasterChef. If you like action, go for Stranger Things. A kids talking equals simple, punchy English. Now here's the gold. Use double subtitles. Use tools like Language Reactor, a Chrome extension, or Netflix's built-in subtitle settings. You get your native language plus English at once, so your brain makes connections without stopping to look things up. Then, after one episode, switch to English-only subs. Then brace yourself and no subs at all. It's a 3-stage rocket. Stage 1, understanding. Stage 2, matching sound to words. Stage 3, listening raw. Boom. Fluency takes off. And don't just watch. Shadow the dialogue. Remember section 2? You're bringing it back. Pause after a line, then say it out loud exactly like the actor. Copy their rhythm, their tone, their sass. You're not just learning words, you're rehearsing English emotions. Let's get weird. You're watching Friends. Chandler says, "Could I be wearing any more clothes?" Pause. Rewind. Say it. "Could I be wearing any more clothes?" Now try it annoyed, then confused, then dramatic soap opera style. You're not just learning English, you're acting in English. Fringe learners say this trick boosted their fluency and confidence. Some even credit it for killing their accents. And here's a fun historical side note. Did you know Abraham Lincoln practiced speeches in front of a mirror while quoting Shakespeare? His goal was to improve delivery, not memorize lines. Historians still argue whether it helped more with his presidency or his grammar, but either way he binge-watched plays. You're just doing it with streaming. Ready for a deeper layer? Focus on functional phrases. These are lines that show up over and over in real conversation, like, "Are you serious? No way. What do you mean? That's not fair." Collect them, say them, use them. These aren't just lines, they're reusable conversation weapons. The more you hear them, the more natural they become. And so watch things you genuinely enjoy. If you hate documentaries, don't force yourself through one just because it sounds educational. Watch what lights you up. Laughter plus interest equals longer attention equals deeper retention. Want a bonus move? Turn on the audio description track. Many Netflix shows offer this for the visually impaired. It's a voice that describes what's happening on screen. She walks into the room. She looks upset. It's slow, clear, and great for building vocabulary and rhythm. It's like training wheels for fluency. Now here's your cheeky reality check. If you're still watching shows in your native language for comfort, you're feeding your fluency with junk food. You're keeping your English in a glass box labeled later. Break the box. Watch in English. Struggle. Laugh. Rewind. Repeat. Your daily challenge? Watch 10 minutes of a show in English with subtitles. Then, repeat one scene out loud using shadowing. Finally, write down 3 new phrases you liked and say them to your couch, your dog, or the mirror. And remember, this isn't wasted time. This is structured immersion. You're letting English become your background noise, your emotional soundtrack, your second voice. You've gone from passive viewer to active participant, from watching English to living it. And now, with your listening and speaking muscles warming up, we're heading straight into your inner voice. You're about to write your way into fluency. No journal shame required. You've spoken out loud. You've shadowed TV shows. You've turned grammar into a game. But now, it's time to write like a spy. Yes, a spy. Because spies keep secrets, and you, my friend, are about to keep one too, a secret English diary that will do more for your fluency than another 100 vocab drills ever could. Don't worry, you won't be writing Shakespearean sonnets or long-winded essays. You'll be writing messy, honest, slightly weird entries that train your brain to think in English before you even speak it. Let's start simple. Every day, you write just 5 sentences in English. That's it. About your day, your mood, what you ate, why your neighbor's dog keeps looking at you like you owe it money. Anything goes. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is flow. And here's why it works. Writing slows your thoughts down. It forces you to structure them. When you write, you have to pick a subject, a verb, and an objecta even if you don't know what those are. You just do it. And the more you do it, the more natural sentence building becomes when you speak. Back in WEI, British codebreakers kept secret language journals to practice decoding patterns. They would scribble notes in shorthand, code, and plain English just to keep their brains sharp. Historians still argue whether the diaries were more about practice or paranoia, but either way, they worked. Now here's where it gets fun. Don't just write in a journal. Create characters. One day, be a rock star. The next, a baker. Then, a lost alien trying to understand Earth's obsession with avocado toast. Write as them, from their point of view. Use words you wouldn't normally use. It's writing plus acting plus English training in one. And let's talk mistakes. You will make many. Spelling errors, verb confusion, mixed tenses. Great. That's the point. Every mistake you make on paper is one fewer mistake you make out loud. Fringe language learners sometimes take this to wild extreme as they write fake love letters, apology notes to their childhood toys, or emails to celebrities, unsent. Of course. Why? Because they're pushing their emotional vocabulary, and emotional vocab sticks. Want to boost it? Try these prompts. Today, I felt a broken bar. If I could redo this moment, a broken bar. The weirdest thing I saw was a broken bar. I wish I could say this to a broken bar. Write like no one's reading it because no one is. And that freedom, that's your superpower. You can even add a voice element. After you write, read it out loud. That's speaking plus vocabulary plus writing practice rolled into one. Triple threat. Do it in the shower, or to your house plant, or in your car while everyone thinks you're just on a call. Now let's sprinkle in one historical nugget. Leonardo da Vinci wrote thousands of pages in mirrored script backwards, not just for secrecy, but to challenge his brain. Writing differently rewires your thinking. So if da Vinci flipped his journals to stimulate creativity, you can definitely switch to English to boost fluency. Here's your challenge. Each day for the next week, write 5 sentences, then expand one into a full paragraph, then read it out loud. By day 7, you'll have a short story. And you won't just know more English, you'll be thinking in English. Here's your cheeky reality check. If you're only consuming English and never producing it, you're a tourist in your own language learning journey. Writing puts you in the driver's seat. Even if the seatbelt's broken and the GPS is yelling at you in Spanish, you've gone from absorbing phrases to creating your own, from passive repetition to personal expert.